Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk sound baths, diet depression, and staying power with American Idol alum David Hernandez. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Welcome, Fit Clubbers. We are back with an all-new episode. I'm your host, Shaka Smith, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host you may recognize from Queen Sugar, Miss Candi Marie.
Hey, guys. It's so good to be back, Shaka. How you doing?
So glad to have you back. And, of course, we have our guest of the hour, Mr. David Hernandez. What's up, man?
How you doing? What's up? Thanks for having me in your space, you guys. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. You may recognize David from American Idol, but you also may recognize him from TRL and the inaugural ball.
Yeah, I opened for John Legend at Barack Obama's inaugural ball.
Wow.
Amazing.
That was probably one of my proudest moments in life.
I was going to say,
ever.
It becomes more salient day by day.
Yeah, it's crazy that it even happened.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Well, we got to talk about that a little bit more, but
okay.
We got to talk about some fitness and get right into it. We got a great slate of stories. The first one actually talking about when we eat, the optimal time to eat morning versus evening meals. I don't know about you guys if you have any rules, but for me, it never really mattered because it's like if you burn X amount of calories and you take in X amount of calories, you're going to be fine. If you're burning 1,000 but you only eat 800, you're going to lose weight, vice versa. So I never really thought about it, but it looks like, according to this particular study, that if you eat earlier, that according to your circadian rhythms may actually metabolize the food a little bit better.
Yeah.
So they looked at 420 people that were overweight or obese, those that ate lunch before 3 p.m. and those that ate lunch after 3 p.m. And those that ate lunch before 3 p.m. had better outcomes with weight loss, actually lost more weight, and did it at a quicker rate. So I don't know if you've noticed anything with the timing of how you eat. What has been your approach?
Well, for me, I've never really been someone who craves like certain dishes. Like I'm more of I eat to live versus live to eat. But as I get older, I've realized that breakfast is more suitable for my dietary needs. I tend to like breakfast, and then I won't eat until like 1 p.m. And then I try not to eat after like 8 or 9 p.m. because I feel like going to bed on a full stomach is just not, it doesn't feel right for me. I feel like really bloated and gassy and like all that kind of stuff. So I try to get it all knocked out. But yeah, I mean, diet's always been an issue for me. I mean, I've been blessed to have like a decent body my entire life. But as I get old, I start to notice my metabolism starts to get a little funky. And I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. I can see that's not working out for me. But so now I eat breakfast every morning, and I'm up usually before 9 a.m. where I used to, I'm an artist obviously, so I used to wake up at like noon. But now I'm like, we got that internal, circadian rhythm. I'm up at 8 o'clock. So yeah, I would say breakfast for me is kind of like where it's at, and then like a light lunch, and then a dinner before 7 p.m.
And what do you try to do now? It's 8 p.m. You're like, I'm not eating food, but I really want to eat some food. Like, do you have some strategies like to cope if it's like, oh man?
You know what? I try to have a strategy. I feel like it works out occasionally. Like I'll try to. I love like the little fruit boxes. Yeah. Those are cool. Yeah, I do that. I'm a salt eater. I love salt. I'm not really like a sweets person. Like I don't really do chocolates and stuff. So but that's also a vice though, because sodium obviously that late at night or just in general can be overwhelming for your body. But
absolutely.
But then also, like, I'm a huge indica fan, so I try to balance out smoke because I have a lot of anxiety, and my brain never really shuts off. So I'll smoke before I go to bed, but then I'll wake up a few hours later and be like, God, I'm craving like pickles. You know what I mean? With like lots of salt and vinegar. So I try to balance that out by not having those things available in my fridge. Yeah. Because nobody wants to get up and walk to Rite Aid.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'll have like the fruit, and then I'll have, what else do I normally have? Like whatever, I don't know, I just try to stay away from the stuff that I know is going to get me in trouble and like throw me out or derail me.
Yeah, that's sort of my I try to do like my single serving rule. If it's not really good for me or healthy, I'll only get one serving of it so that's all I can eat in the house.
Yeah, I don't tease myself. I'm like, look, I'm just not even going to touch you. I don't even want to go down that aisle. Like you will not live in my refrigerator at all because I will eat you.
Yeah. I haven't had sour cream and onion dip with like Ruffles in probably like 2 years.
Wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, but that's because what you just said though. Like, I don't want to even tempt myself because I'm like, why
that makes
even?
sense.
I forgot about the combination. I actually forgot about the combination. That was a dope combination back in the day.
I have not forgotten about it, and I enjoy it all the time. It's so good. Sorry.
I legit, you know what? I take that. Oh my God, I totally lie. Actually, my friend Richard, who we have dinner with once a week, he always has it, and I'll dabble a little bit.
So yeah.
But I've had it. But I haven't had. You
mind.
know what? Correction. I haven't had a full serving to myself, which I could do. I could do a 16-ounce sour cream. You know. So.
I believe you.
I could I'll annihilate it.
Well, now if you do it, you know to have it in the morning rather than late at night. Our next story we got to talk about is sound baths. Have you guys heard about sound baths before?
No.
I've heard about it. You just informed me about it. It sounds really interesting.
I thought, it's funny because as a singer, I thought you'd be like all up on it. You're like, what's a sound bath? But, I've gone to one or two in LA. A friend invites you to this like kind of fun shoo party and everyone's sort of, very hippie and nice.
Yeah.
But it really is super relaxing, and we go out to the patio and they do the sound bath, but there is scientific evidence to show it does actually reduce stress. And this was in the Journal of Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, and they found that in a sound bath, you're actually initiating a relaxation response as opposed to the fight or flight response you might have when there's danger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in this clinical study, they looked at 62 women, average age of about 50 years old, and they all reported reduction in tension, anger, fatigue, and depressive symptoms as well. So you haven't heard of sound baths, but as a musician, how do you use music to heal? Do you find that music has an effect on you personally?
Absolutely.
Certain sounds,
Absolutely, and there's studies that show, like you just mentioned, that show that sound and different types of music can really impact your mood. I mean, for example, if you're trying to go to bed, what do you listen to? Probably not EDM.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I love like India.Arie when I'm trying to wind down, or even Sade, like those kind of things, and it's just scientific proof that works and that helps. And for me, my cortisol levels are always like because I'm very, very, like I said, a lot of anxiety, but I'm also just really active mentally and physically. So it's hard for me to really come down at night. I have to start pretty early in order to be in bed by like midnight, which hardly ever happens. So yeah, music and white noise helps me too, and different types of white noises. So I believe it. And now that you mentioned it, I'm going to try the sound bath.
Yeah.
Because
they're so intense, and the ones I've been to are kind of interesting because you're with other people. So while it's a very personal experience, you also feel the energy of those around you. And
I'm like, please paint a picture for me because I have no idea what this is. It sounds great though.
Well, I mean, the one that we did, she had like a bowl and she had like, I guess, that sort of mortar pestle thing where they kind of mimic that sort of. And sometimes they'll also sing and add some vocals to it, just sort of like.
Is there like wine involved at all? Or
I know.
Well, actually,
I need a substance. I need some kind of substance.
Don't we all?
But it's so cool because you go out, you kind of close your eyes, and you just hear this music playing, and you feel like it's doing something to you, but either way, it's just relaxing and nice because you're listening to good music and relaxed.
Absolutely.
So, of course, it's going to reduce stress, I think.
Right.
I think a lot of reducing stress is us just taking time out to, like, take a moment and breathe.
Take a moment. I agree. I think that you should plan out time like that, just like you plan out everything else in your schedule.
Yeah.
Totally. It's a discipline.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
a discipline for
Absolutely.
sure. Especially now with social media and everything so accessible, it's hard not to stay away from your device.
Yeah.
And especially in the mornings, I recommend to anybody, like, stay off your phone when you wake up for at least an hour before you're inundated with the world and all the things going on and the fires and the floods and like, oh my God, your Instagram following's not up enough, or what's your content like? Like, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff just really starts to weigh on you, and then you forget, like, you forget to eat, or you forget to eat the right things and like that kind of stuff.
And we're all the first responders to that stuff because no one ever dealt with that before. So like we have to coping with that life and taking a break from it.
Totally.
And we're doing it for the first time
Unplugged.
as a generation.
Absolutely. And there are notifications for everything. Like, oh my gosh.
I know. I just signed up for the Pattern.
ABC.
Have you heard of the Pattern?
I had it and I deleted it.
See?
I can't take it.
Because it's like every day
can't.
it was like, why are you
I can't
all
take
over
it.
my space?
No, you don't know my life.
It was
you
a lot.
you don't know my life.
You don't know me like
and
that.
I was like, I can't listen. I can't put my faith in you. I had to delete it.
Wait,
I had to let it go.
Yeah.
It's a scheduler?
No, it kind of just you put in your birth date and your birth time, and it kind of tells you who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And your pattern.
Okay.
And sometimes I think it's accurate, but other times it's kind of like
You felt
horoscopes.
offended? You were like, hey.
I was like, you don't know me.
I feel
Okay?
attacked.
Like, you don't know me. And it'll tell you things like, this is why you're something in relationships, because this is why your relationships don't work. Or this is why you're a bad communicator. And I'm like, look, dude, you're
That's
not about to bring
hilarious.
this negativity in my life.
Right.
But honestly, you can get addicted to it. Just like you get addicted to social media, you can look forward to that word and you can literally start start to think those things into your existence, and that's why I had to personally delete it.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, as a musician with sounds affecting us the way they do, have you ever decided to like, let me create my own song just for me to go to sleep, or my own song that's gonna hype me up to wake me up, and it's like you singing to yourself to kind of?
I don't, you know,
or
I
even
don't,
instrumentally, yeah.
That's a great question.
well, I would never use my own voice to either wake me up or put me to bed. That seems a little narcissistic and crazy.
But it might just it might spark you.
No, just like I hate watching myself back. Like when I did my first music video, I watched it back and I was like, oh God, like look at that angle. Like I'm too critical like that. So no, I've never done that. But maybe I should go. My next album should be like you know, like the sleep noise, but with my voice.
Yeah, because if I could sing really well, I would like sing myself to sleep and record that and put my Shaka's.
Or maybe I should do what is the other stuff called when they're like they do this on the microphone?
Oh, I didn't even know. What is that?
You know when they're like.
Oh,
ASMR, yeah. So
I'm glad you know.
What if I did that with my
own
voice? That would be creepy.
That would be or cool.
See, Shaka talks to himself in third person, so that's why that happens. That's why he's like, hey, you should sing to yourself.
Well, our next story has to do with diet and depression. And this was actually a study that looked at young people in the Journal of PLOS ONE. And we've actually seen some studies that have looked at diet and depression amongst older folks. But this was the first one that really looked at college-age kids, ran for 3 weeks, and they were given less processed food to increase their intake of fruits and vegetables. And they all reported less symptoms of depression after that. And what's more is the college kids that continued this for 3 months afterwards also reported sustaining those positive feelings.
Wow.
Yeah, and so, you know, they did things like 5 servings of veggies a week, 2 to 3 fruits, 3 servings of grains, 3 servings of protein. So really down to the basics, the macros, very
literally you
processed
are
foods.
what you eat.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, a friend described the stomach as a second brain because everything you eat affects the chemicals in the brain.
All the issues you have start in the gut,
Absolutely.
for sure. I've learned that the hard way.
So yeah, I was gonna say how has that influenced your life, your career? How have you made those changes?
I have grown exponentially more cognizant of the things that I put in my body. And when I am putting things that are not good for me in my body, I'm aware of it. Before, I don't think I knew exactly what was making me feel lethargic or sad or depressed. I notice now, like the other day, I was in a rush and I ate Chipotle. Yeah. No problem with Chipotle, other than the fact that it just doesn't work well with my body. Yeah. Within 10 minutes, I felt tired. I felt negative. Like I wanted to go home and like just kind of curl up. It just didn't sit well in my gut. And I feel like the more mature that I get, that's a better word to use than old. The more mature that I get, I realize that I need to be more particular about the things that I put in my body, just like the people that I let in my life. Like it's just, you know, it's a whole different ball game now. And you know, it's okay to indulge occasionally, but if it doesn't make you feel good, you know, and it's not going to motivate you in the mornings, like. I don't know, man. I stay away from like stuff that is obviously terrible. I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I don't eat a lot of that crap, Taco Bell. Like it's just not. It doesn't work well with me.
It makes a huge difference. I agree. Every morning I created my own little green juice, and now it's a thing where every single morning I have a ginger, pineapple, blueberries, celery.
So good.
It is amazing. Kale, parsley.
Oh.
Throw some parsley in there.
Y'all
sleeping on parsley.
Don't sleep on parsley.
And every single morning I drink that, and it just rejuvenates me and gives me this energy. And I go for a morning run after that, and it makes a difference.
Do you have coffee?
I don't drink coffee at all.
You don't drink coffee. Do you drink black tea or anything for energy, or are you just all natural?
I drink that green juice.
Wow. That's amazing.
I drink that green juice, and then also a friend of mine has her own multivitamin line. I take 2 of those a day, and it makes a difference. The only thing that I'm trying to change is I have a habit of eating late. So of course when you eat late, it's heavy and it weighs down on you, and I like to go to sleep late at night. So
see, I do that. I like to eat a little bit late because then I can kind of fast the next day, and and even though I feel heavy at night, but I'm asleep, and I'll feel a little heavy in the morning, but that goes away pretty quickly, and I'll just fast for a few more hours until I eat again.
Do you wake up early?
Yeah, I wake up early, but I like feeling light throughout the. I like not eating at all during the day because then I kind of feel light. My body's not processing anything
at all.
Yeah, and then
like nothing?
The only time I eat is this day when I feel like I have to be active and be on the show and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would be an angry individual. I would have no friends,
but the
no
thing is,
career.
When I say I have that food the night before,
no one
is
talk
like
to me.
It can be pretty.
At all.
It's more of like I'm binging the night before. It's a lot of food.
Okay.
Like you wake up pretty happy.
Well, you're very disciplined, Shaka. You're very disciplined.
Okay. Isn't that like intermittent fasting? Is
yeah,
that what
essentially,
you do?
yeah. And I'll include my vegan ice cream, my vegan donuts, and so sometimes I'll go for it sometimes.
Yeah.
So I wake up feeling pretty nice.
Was there ever a period of time where you were just a terrible eater? Were you like,
I maybe as a kid,
Look at him. Look at him.
as a
His
kid I might have been
skin,
a terrible.
now?
muscles.
Well, I'd say as a kid, I was a terrible eater. But and that's I hope kids get the message that we're talking about now about the processed foods because we didn't understand that as kids.
No, not at
We
all.
would be so like
It was never really enforced either by my parents. I mean, it was more like we were poor, so it was like you eat what you get.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And we never connected like, oh, I'm having a bad mood today to like the food I put in my body.
Yeah.
That connection never even happened
They
until.
didn't even know.
So I feel like we're playing catch up, but I hope the kids now get that message as they're 7 and 8 and 9. So by the time they hit their 20s, they're not even dealing with food issues the way we've dealt with them.
And see, they had Michelle Obama, you know.
We didn't have Michelle.
You know,
What do we had Clinton and Monica. No, I'm kidding.
We had Bush.
We grew up quickly. We grew up quickly.
Right.
But we speaking about depression, we had World Mental Health Day that just passed, and Prince Harry and Ed Sheeran actually teamed up for a little World Mental Health Day special. I'm gonna play a little clip of what they did. Here we go.
It would be amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. People just don't understand what it's like for people like us.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Well, you know, with the jokes and the snide comments, and I just feel like it's time that we stood up and said, we're not going to take this anymore. We are Ginger, and
Okay, slightly awkward. This might maybe a miscommunication, but this is about World Mental Health Day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I knew that. No, I definitely knew that. Yeah, definitely knew that.
So I love this little clip. I love that these two got
Guys,
together and
this,
teamed up
World
to make a
Mental
really
Health Day.
special message about World Mental Health Day. I know that you said you've had issues of depression and being in the limelight as well. How have you coped with that? And how do you try to reach out to those that are dealing with that now currently?
Well, I suffered from severe anxiety, and for years and years and years, I took Xanax. Xanax isn't really meant to be taken for years. It's sort of a temporary relief for anxiety and et cetera. But I didn't know that, and I wasn't educated on it, and so I took it for a good chunk of years, and then finally my body was like, "You're done." And that period of time, I didn't realize that was the issue, and I kind of would, fluctuate in and out of moods and kind of just forget periods of time because it creates memory loss as well. And so then finally I was able to check into a facility voluntarily, and I was like, listen, I need help. Like, I don't want to be on anything. I don't want to be on any sort of medication at all. And successfully, it's been almost 2 years now without any of that, and it's completely changed my life. And there are moments where I get overwhelmed, especially doing like red carpets and like events and being scrutinized on the web or the internet or social media, and it's tough, but the only way to really get through it is to go through it. So I tend to if I have to cry, I cry, and I lock myself in my room for a good 20 minutes and I get over it. You just have to really be strong. You have to deal with it and power through it. Yeah, and I do see a therapist once in a while to kind of get stuff off my chest, but I have a really great circle of friends around me, and not everybody has that. But I wouldn't recommend getting on any medication that would send you in a spiral that I went on. And it was a slow creeper too. I didn't realize it was happening.
And so you kind of go through this experience, and you're kind of finally on the mend, getting things back together, and then you have this accident.
Yeah.
And now you're faced with, do you start using other drugs that might help you? And because you have this accident last year, April of last year, and
I had just been completely clean, essentially, for a year.
Wow.
So, it was difficult. I already have a mild case of scoliosis on my spine, and when I got in the accident, it was a 6-car pileup. It was Easter Sunday, and Derek and I were driving back from his parents' house, and literally the car in front of us slammed on their brakes so quickly, and we swerved. We kind of scraped the median, but the rest of the cars did not. They literally slammed into us one by one.
Jeez.
And so at the moment, your adrenaline is just overtakes you. You don't realize how hurt you are. Fast forward to a few months later, going to the chiropractor, and there was some serious issues with both him and I. We were able to get a lot of treatment via the chiropractor and eventually get an epidural, which only lasts about 3 months because, as you know, we talked about a little bit, it reduces the swelling, but it doesn't cure the problem. And so now we're dealing with that repercussions of that, really. In my back, I mean, even as I speak now, it's like, I'm like, oh God, it's uncomfortable. But it's everything your parents warned you about, basically. As you get old, your body's going to feel achy, but yeah.
But that brought you to the PSO-RITE, right?
It did, yeah.
I've been calling this the PSO-RITE. But this is
it's the PSO-RITE. It stands for the psoas muscle,
Yeah.
which is basically what ties your upper body to your lower body together, which a lot of us don't really know about. I didn't even know about it.
I still barely know about it. So that's why I'm actually excited about this and like what it can do for you flexibility-wise.
Mobility, flexibility, and and pain-free as well. It basically is a massage tool, and it's a muscle release tool, and it's incredible. It works not just for your psoas, but for your lower back. I mean, 99.9% of people have issues with their back, their neck. I mean, that's just a fact, and it really sucks, and it kind of inhibits like the way you go about life. I mean, I don't know if you experience any pains.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Whether
knees.
you slept on it. See,
Ooh.
yeah.
I'm making a stallion knees. That's not going to happen for me.
Come on, Queen Sugar. You can't have faulty knees.
Well, what I want to know is like, so you're in pain from an accident, and you're using this to kind of like help your rehab. But how do you know kind of what's good pain, what's bad pain? How
That's
do you
a really
know
good
if you're
question.
utilizing this in the correct way?
Well, there's not really an incorrect way to use it per se, unless you feel a sharp pain, which I'd recommend to back up off of it. It's not something you want to force. You know, your body is sensitive. It's not going to rip you open. I mean, this is the 4th prototype that has, you know, we went through a series of different tests and prototypes to make sure we got the right perfect fit. And it really just mimics the hands and the elbows, which are the most effective way to reaching the subscapula, the psoas muscle. Things that like the foam roller can achieve. We still recommend the foam roller.
Okay, I was gonna say, how do you utilize?
You can use that in conjunction with the PSO-RITE, actually.
Can you show us how it works?
I can't. I mean, what do you want me to get on the table here?
Hey.
Well, first of all, here a way to show.
Can you
a
do
way
me
to show.
or-
Wait, could you do like an
absolutely.
elbow or like a?
You can. Well, let me show you on the back though. If you want to turn this
Okay.
way so the camera kind of see
Yeah.
you. So, scoot up a little bit on your chair,
Like, oh, this way?
and you can also do this on a wall as well.
Okay.
And then lean back just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
What's that?
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet. Okay. And if you kind of feel, and you want to lean back on it a little bit,
So you almost use it like you would a foam roller to a certain degree.
or like if you were at a massage therapist and they were using their hands or their elbows to dig into your
Oh,
muscle
and you
for
kind
muscle
of-
release.
Got it.
Yeah, totally. And what you can do is if you lean up a little bit, I can put it, like you have some upper back issues,
Oh.
right? And then what you do once you get comfortable is you kind of just move around a little bit, kind of like turn this arm this way, pull the arm up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You'll feel it in different ways.
What kind
Right.
of workout is this for you over there, Candi? I'm like, what's
Those
going on?
noises, though,
Yeah.
are we still doing the...
I haven't. Never mind. This is great. Yeah, I need one of these.
So it does feel good?
Yeah, I love it.
It's great. We were actually driving to Vegas last week, and I used it in the car.
my.
And it was,
nice.
you know, because sitting down for long periods of time when you have back issues is excruciating sometimes.
Yeah.
And this really helps.
This is amazing.
See, I told you.
Oh,
I
that's
would steer you in
exciting.
the wrong direction.
Okay, you
With
gotta
that
take
reaction,
that
I'm
back.
very excited.
Take it away.
I
Yeah,
mean,
sure,
you
yeah.
can even use it here for your shoulder. I mean, it's an incredible tool. Like, you literally can place it here.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is
Move the arm
brilliant.
around.
I
mean,
love
it
it.
literally works for every part of your body.
Yeah.
And you could be in a plane, take it on the plane with you. You could be in the shower. There's a mini one. It's called the Mini-So.
Yeah.
And it's about like this big. And you can actually use that to massage yourself in the shower or standing in line at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
So how do you utilize this with your workouts? Like, what do you use this in the day between the workouts, before the workout, after the workout?
I use this every single day. First of all, I wake up with a stiff back, so that's the first thing I do when I get out of bed in the morning. But I do also use it as a pre-workout and a post.
Yeah.
So it's just like stretching. If you're going to stretch before you work out, use the PSO-RITE for 10 minutes. You know, try it on parts of your body wherever you're feeling pain, experiencing pain, and then do it afterwards too to kind of relax those tight muscles because you've just been pumping.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And so, how long have you been with PSO-RITE? How did you get connected with the company?
I've been with them for a few months now. One of my really close friends, his brother and him both developed the product.
Oh, nice.
And it was funny because we were just trying to have a Sunday fun day pool day.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, come to my rooftop pool. And we went over there and we had a couple of White Claws and I was buzzing. If you know me, I'm already honest as it is.
Yeah.
So you get a couple drinks in me and I'm just like, there is no
Hey.
filter. So he was like, I want you to try this. And I'm like, okay, let's try another product,
Yeah.
And so I literally laid on it and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, and it helped my back it relieved it right away, and it lasted about 3 hours before I had to use it again. But it was great. It just becomes like a part of your life, and it's a fantastic tool. If you know me as well, I don't get behind any product. You look at my Instagram, I don't promote any products.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not, unless it's tried and true for me, I'm not trying to get other people to try it. You know what I mean? I want to believe in it. So it's the first product I've come across and that I've been like, you know what, this is incredible.
Nice. Well, I did try it for a few minutes, and I could feel it working, but I was a little nervous, so I can't wait to really go for it. Yeah.
No, go for it. And obviously, you work out. We see that.
You know, yeah,
Come
I
on,
work,
Shaka.
I work out, but it's funny. What I've recently discovered about myself is I'm very afraid to try new things. I love to live in the box that I know, you know, and I step out a little bit every now and then because I know it's good for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, I was just like, oh man, I don't know how to use this quite yet. So let me kind of ease off. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to get it in there. Yeah.
So this is Derek over here. He's actually, we're both head of PR and operations for PSO-RITE, and he tried it the first time too, and he was just like,
I was not ready for it.
He was not ready for it. But what do you think about it now?
I think it's amazing. I mean, in terms of just gaining mobility that you're not used to, because I'm usually tight in a lot of places, lower back, especially hip flexors.
Yeah.
So I noticed using that's really not only stretch that out, but you really do feel that pain, that like the hurt so good kind of pain.
Yeah.
So
No,
it
that was
really
intentional. Hurt so good. PSO.
I love
Hurt
that.
so good.
Yeah.
so right and so good.
Were you sore after the first time?
I'm not sore after using it, but I didn't realize how sore I was while using it. Right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
when
yeah.
you're using it, you really
You
get
release.
into the muscles that you don't really realize are so tight.
Yeah.
And so that's when I was like, well, geez, God, I didn't realize I was that.
Yeah.
And
Tense.
and a lot of the MMA fighters have literally signed on to use it like completely free of charge. Like we have done no PR or anything for it. And the Seth Rogen show, we had Mike Chandler on it actually, and he literally could not say enough great things about it. So we have a lot of like incredible celebrities and workout gurus that are signing on to be a part of it. And it's a great thing when you can be a part of something that actually helps your overall health.
Yeah, healing is super important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what is next for you?
What is next for me? Well, we are going to, I don't know. Actually, I was going to say something funny, but that wouldn't work. Next for me, well, music is still very much embedded into the fabric of my life. And I just released a full-length album in October of last year. I'm gearing up to actually release a new single with one of my best friends, Effie Pacero. Our group is called Second Hour. It's a duo group. And the single is called What I See, that comes out in January with the music video, shot by Ian Maxian and directed by Derek and myself. So music is still, I literally do gigs all the time, and yeah, I'm not giving up on that. That's definitely still there.
Nice.
But health and fitness has always been another part of my life that's very prevalent. So that's where this comes in, and it all just works together.
It's awesome. And we have a little segment called Fit Club 5 where we ask you 5 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
But before we get there, I want a little bit more information about this inaugural ball. Tell me what took place, what happened. I just want to know. I just want to hear.
Well, I'm a part of an organization called Declare Yourself that is headed by Norman Lear and my friend Brent at the time.
Norman Lear, amazing.
Icon.
Yeah.
My friend Brent Miller had reached out to me, and he was like, hey, would you love to come be a part of the inauguration? Before he even mentioned me singing, I'm like, absolutely, I want to be there. So we kept talking more, and he's like, would you like to actually open for John Legend and Maroon 5? And I was like,
You're like, nah, I'm
no,
good.
you know what? I'm so busy right now. I'm fresh off Idol. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it. Yeah. This was literally right after I got off American Idol, and so they flew me to DC, and I got to meet Adam Levine and Jessica Alba and Norman, and I had known Norman, but everybody else was. It was just incredible to be a part of such a historic event, and that president in particular.
Yeah,
I can't. I still get teared up thinking about him not being in office anymore. Because we're in a crisis. People.
Yes, it's a crisis.
Yeah.
Well,
That's incredible.
we'll take that into our Fit Club 5.
Let's do it.
All right. So,
I'm nervous.
are you ready?
I'm nervous when I'm on the spot like
All
this.
right, Shaka, are you ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's do it. So, who was the last person you text?
Probably Derek. Probably Derek, yeah.
He's like, you better say Derek.
I got all the side pieces.
Who is your dream dinner guest?
My dream dinner guest?
Live or dead?
Oof, Oprah. Yeah.
Good choice.
Oprah, for
Last
sure.
meal.
My last meal? Oh my gosh, my last meal. It was a Tex-Mex chicken salad from Trader Joe's.
Yummy.
Bam.
Oh, bam.
Get your body right.
Okay, well, we talk about get your body right. Let's get your body wrong for a second. What about your fave junk food?
My favorite junk food? Probably anything with carbs or salt. So bread and pickles.
He's like the Ruffles and
Oh, sour cream and onion dip. Anything. Yeah, salt or carbs.
Okay. And last but not least, if you were on death row, what would be your last meal?
That is morbid as hell. If I was on death row, my last meal would probably be Beyonce. No, I'm kidding. My last meal would probably...
Sounds delicious.
That's amazing. Last meal would probably be chicken tenders with ranch and barbecue and honey mustard and French fries, all just ready for the dippings.
Oh, he thought about this.
Or chorizo and eggs with flour tortillas because the carbs once again.
Nice.
We're going to eat with him.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll find chorizo anywhere I go, any restaurant.
Oh my God. Well, we got to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
This
you
has
guys.
been incredible.
It's been great.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. And of course, Candi, where can they find you out there?
Hi
Candi
guys,
Marie.
you can find me on Instagram at Miss Candi Marie, which is MS Candi Marie.
My love, do you ever dream of candy falling raindrops? You're the sun. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I've never had a
Okay.
man say my name like that before. That was
I'll
great.
say your name all the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Candy. Come on, Candy.
All right.
You want to sing your social? Where can they find you?
At Instagram and Twitter is D Hernandez Music, and my website's davidhernandezofficial.com.
Awesome. And guys, you can find me at Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. Shaka.
Shaka.
You're so damn strong.
We'll see you guys next week.
Those are awesome.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.